I can tell on TV because CNN is on in the studio. CNN is choking on this headline about the peace deal between Israel and Hamas. I mean, you can tell that their attitude of reporting this story about Donald Trump brokering this peace deal, it's like they just don't want to be reporting it. But this is a very, very big deal. By the way, good morning, friends. Welcome on in to October 9th. What a past 24 hours it has been since we were last together. A peace deal in the Middle East brokered by Donald Trump. Now, I think if you are anywhere on social media right now, you will see the people dancing in the streets of Gaza. And by the way, some of those people, you can tell there's no famine in Gaza. I'm just saying. But other than that, everybody's excited. People are excited in Israel. People are excited in Gaza. People are excited all across well, they're not excited at CNN. That I can tell you. But this is what Donald Trump said. He posted this. I am very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. Now, that's going to be the big question. Okay, so can they actually see this one through? Is this going to be the peace deal for all ages? Now, we'll get into all of this. The president says, again, in this Truth Social post, all parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. And he says, we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who worked with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers, says Donald Trump. And he says, no, thank you for your attention to this matter. Did not say that, but he does say Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So this is a very big deal. And I think that this is something that the president has been wanting to do, obviously, for quite some time. Need some video. Now, the big thing here is that the hostages that Hamas are holding, and the live ones and the ones that have been murdered as well, they're supposed to be released by Monday. And so this is what the president said to the families of the hostages. This is really an incredible moment. This was President Trump, and he's got, I forget who this is, but one of his cabinet members is with these folks, the families of the hostages. And he's got Donald Trump on the phone. Listen.
President Trump, you have the best crowd in the world. What do you guys have to say to President Trump?
Thank you. Just take care of yourselves. The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
Mr. President, we believe in you. We know you've done so much for us over the past, since you became a president, and even before that. And we trust you fulfill the mission until every hostage, every 48 of the hostages are home. Thank you so much. Blessed be the peacemakers.
God bless you, Mr. President. God bless America.
Thank you very much.
I mean, that was really a great and touching moment. And you can see, as you're watching this video, you can see the relief, the look on their faces, the excitement that they're going to be seeing their loved ones again. And obviously bittersweet for the ones who will be receiving the remains of their loved ones.
Gosh, I hope it doesn't get derailed somehow.
I don't know about you, Joan, but I'm kind of on pins and needles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Because, we've been through this before.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've gotten this far. And what did Donald Trump do differently? He involved Egypt. What'd you say?
He led.
He involved Egypt. He involved Jordan. He involved Qatar, Turkey as well. Mm-hmm. And he also, basically he involved the world, is what Donald Trump did. Hamas actually has now, believe it or not, Hamas actually came out and thanked Donald Trump, as well as mediators in Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, for the peace deal, which they say provides the withdrawal of the occupation allows the entry of aid and implements a prisoner exchange. Now, we're going to go through some of the numbers of the prisoner exchange because I'm just going to tell you that you're not going to be happy. Sam, you're not going to be happy. Joan, you're not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy. You folks that are listening and watching, you're not going to be happy. When we look at the numbers of how many Israeli prisoners Israel will be getting back and how many of these Hamas terrorists they're going to be giving up. Because, it's always lopsided, right?
Of course.
According to a statement from the Prime Minister's office, the conversation was warm and moving. Benjamin Netanyahu thanking Donald Trump as well for his efforts in global leadership, while Donald Trump praising Netanyahu's determined leadership and the actions he led. A senior Hamas official said the group has handed over a list of Palestinian prisoners who will be released as part of that ceasefire deal. You ready? Brace yourself. 47 hostages, alive and dead, Israel. That is what they'll be getting back. Israel is going to free 250 Palestinian prisoners. Now realize that the people that Israel are holding, they are terrorists. They are, the people that are actively go out and try to kill as many Israelis as possible, right? They're fighters. And the hostages that Hamas, they're going to be releasing, they're hostages. These are innocent people who Hamas took. Whether it was on October 7th a couple of years ago or during the ensuing battle. So by no means is this a great deal for anybody, really, to be honest with you. But it is something that if you want peace in the Middle East, you've got to swallow this. By the way, there's going to also be 1,700 Gazans that's what they're calling them, Gazans, that have been arrested since October 7th that will also be released. So that's about 2,000. 2,000 Palestinians, either Gazans or Hamas terrorists, for 47 hostages. About half of them will be alive. So, yeah, it is lopsided. For every Israeli hostage whose remains are released, Israel will release the remains of 15 dead Gazans. So it is lopsided. But here's the problem that we face as a world, is that it's either this or it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like you can either, you have two choices. Israel has two choices. You can go in there and you could just annihilate everyone and take no prisoners and say to hell with the rest of the world, to hell with the people of Gaza. We are going to go and root out Hamas because they're not willing to negotiate in good faith. And in doing so, the rest of the world will scream that Israel is engaged in genocide. Or they can say, you know what? This deal sucks. It sucks for Israel because we're only getting 47 hostages back. Half of them roughly are dead. And we've got to release 250 Palestinian terrorists that were engaged in killing our people, plus another 1,700 Gazans arrested since October 7th. But they've got to do it. But there's a lot of really good things with this deal, and we'll continue to talk about this. Well, okay, so here's what's funny. I walk out of the house today, then I'll get back to the whole peace thing. But in order to keep peace in my house, I actually walked out without a jacket today.
Oh.
At the one, because I'm always overdressed.
Yeah.
Right? It can be 95 degrees out, and I've got some sort of covering on. Today was the only day that I haven't done that because Amy was fast asleep we had a bad night. So Amy was fast asleep on the chair, and I didn't want to wake her. So in order to get myself a jacket, I would have to probably turn on a light and wake her. And I said, nope, I'm not going to do that. So I snuck out of the house.
What a good husband.
And I walked out, and it was like, oh, Lordy.
Okay, so before you get back to Israel and the serious stuff, how's Amy doing? Just to give listeners a quick update.
It was a bad night last night. I'm not going to lie. We're trying to get her off of some of the painkillers.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we're like...
That's a tough
it is tough because this surgery, this is major surgery, as I've said.
Yeah.
So she's trying to get off the painkillers. She actually allowed me to get some sleep last night. Allowed me, I say that, because I've been up, just so you folks know, I've been up since she had this surgery, I've been up all night, up all day. I just haven't been getting my sleep. And so she allowed me to get some sleep last night. I wake up at midnight. I go downstairs. That poor woman is in tears. She can't get comfortable in the whole thing. So we got her set, all fine now, and she was fast asleep when I left.
That's good.
So, but this is such a tough road. It is such a tough road. So, but anyway.
Okay.
The good news is that we got a doctor's appointment today, and we'll have to see where that whole thing goes.
Good. Okay. There you go. Thanks for that update.
I could tell you the really nasty stuff.
No, you don't need to. We're good. We're good, but just blazing right over the top.
Do you know what I told her?
What?
No, you know what? I don't want to get too... Remind me at 5:35.
Okay.
Am I the a-hole? That's what we're going to play, Sam and Joan. Am I the a-hole? We're going to play that coming up at 5:35.
Do we get to answer?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Okay. You know what? We may actually do it because here's the deal. I have this, and people that know me know that on the radio, certainly, and off, I have this just fantastic ability to put my foot in my mouth. Oftentimes it's both feet, and I don't know how I managed to do this, but I do. So I said the wrong thing at the wrong time. I'll tell you what I said coming up at 5:35. Anyway, as far as the president and the peace deal with Hamas, by the way, Sam, I also, and Joan, I know that you feel the same way. I don't trust Hamas as far as I can throw them. I certainly don't.
They have nothing to lose. And it's
well, once they give the hostages back,
their negotiating power is over.
Done.
Once they give those hostages back.
So that's key.
And also remember that, and we've been talking about this, I don't feel like I have to catch up too many people, but as part of this deal, Hamas has to give up any power within Gaza, right?
Yes.
So the Gaza will be rebuilt with these, they call them technocrats.
Yeah.
Where, is that the right word that they're using, technocrats?
Pretty much.
Basically, these are people that just nuts and bolts of running, Gaza. And so, they're going to be a political entity, but it won't be Hamas. Now, what really happens behind the scenes, I really don't know. But here's the deal with Hamas. Number one, once they give up those hostages, you're right, Joan, they have nothing left. Number two, thanks to Donald Trump, Iran has been absolutely neutered. They've been neutralized. They are no longer, as far as we can tell right now, they're no longer a threat. We have, Trump took out their military capabilities. Of course, you have the ongoing sanctions as well. So Hamas, they don't really have a whole heck of a lot left. And so I think part of this deal, and I have not seen this officially, but I think part of this deal might be that the leaders of Hamas, they get an escort out of the country. And they don't get brought up on any, charges or anything like that or whatever. They will not be held accountable for their actions. I think that is also one of the ways that this thing is likely to end, is the leaders of Hamas, they're going to be able to just get out of town. And they're going to live someplace where, they can just whatever. They're living in Qatar with a life of luxury, and they're just gone.
I think they put them on a plane, put a parachute on them, and kick them out the door over Africa.
They do. Listen, I would love nothing more than to see all of those leaders of Hamas taken out. I would love nothing more, just like the leaders in Iran. But again, the reality is, the practical matter is is that if you want this peace deal, then there's certain things that Qatar has been negotiating and President Trump has to negotiate and all these people have to agree to.
Yeah.
And that is releasing all of these terrorists. What did I say? 250? Releasing 250 terrorists, releasing another 1,700 Gazans that have been arrested for whatever reasons, and allowing the leaders of Hamas to live. That's, unfortunately, what you want and what is a practical solution to end the bloodshed are two different things. And I think that, President Trump, for his part, I think that he's done a great job of just staying absolutely focused on ending the bloodshed and ultimately protecting Israel as well. And so now we'll have to see what happens. By the way, real quick, this was President Trump in an exclusive interview with Sean Hannity.
I'm very confident there'll be peace in the Middle East. The words peace in the Middle East is something people have been striving for hundreds of years, for centuries, for many centuries. And we really have. Every country has come together, and on a little different scale, but so important. It seems like everything's at a different scale.
Yeah, and CNN, I'm sure this morning, as I said when I came in, that they are choking on the headline that they had to have, which was, basically peace deal in the Middle East. And I've got the volume
Thanks
turned
to Donald
down.
Trump.
I'm reasonably certain that they didn't put thanks to Donald Trump, but they've got to admit. They have got to admit that for the president of the United States, this is something that, regardless of the fact that he has solved, 7 other conflicts, this here is a huge deal for the world. And the thing that I liked about, and I read the statement, the thing that I liked about what Trump said is that he's, obviously taking credit, but he's also throwing a lot of sunshine towards, Qatar and Egypt and Turkey and these other world leaders who have also had a hand in negotiating this peace deal. So I think this is a great morning, and I'm very excited that this is something that I did wake up to, something great that I woke up to tonight at about midnight, and we'll continue to cover this. By the way, what a great morning to have Eric Trump on.
Oh, right.
You can watch the radio show on YouTube, Facebook, 997WTN.com, and all the places. Like and subscribe. Listen on the radio. You can listen to the podcast after the show is done. Basically, you can't get rid of us, even if you wanted to. And we'll hunt you down if you don't. All right, so real quick, let's play I'm the A-hole. So, Joan, the other morning, I think it was at night. I can't remember exactly when it was. But Amy has basically been camped out in what is known in the house as my chair. Now, Sam, do you have a your own chair in your house? It's like Archie Bunker's famous chair, right? It's my chair.
No.
My dad had one of those.
Right. This is my Dan chair. This is my dad chair, my Dan chair. But it reclines and it's really, really comfy. It also happens to be the only chair that Amy can sit in comfortably after her surgery because it reclines in the whole thing. Now, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But the other day, post-surgery, I said, well, we have to wrap you up because I don't want any Amy goo on my chair. Now, it would appear that wasn't the nicest of things to say. Now,
What was your first clue?
The look of absolute rage on her face when I said that, I thought it was funny. Because she's got these, port things or whatever, and, they're leaking and stuff.
Okay.
And I said I don't want any Amy goo on my chair.
Not in my household.
That's
my neighborhood.
It's exactly right. Not in my chair. No Amy goo in my chair. I said, you are lucky enough that I'm allowing you to sit in my chair.
You did not go there.
As you recover and recuperate. But don't you be leaking any Amy goo on my chair. Now,
Come on, man.
Now, I thought it was funny. I wasn't being serious. And I thought that, you know what, to be honest with you, with all the drugs that she was on, I thought it would fly right over her head and she would find it funny.
She still remembered.
Oh,
yeah.
You women don't forget anything, even when you're stoned. So apparently I was told in no uncertain terms that she did not find the term Amy Goo as very funny.
That's a nasty one. That's nasty.
So I apologized, and we are trying to move forward with that. Okay, so you were saying that I am the a-hole?
Big.
Okay.
Big.
Absolutely confirmed.
Yeah.
You are the a-hole.
Done.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. Amy and I, we have such a great relationship with joking with each other that I thought that she would get the joke. But, you know, apparently when you're leaking Amy Goo all over my chair, you lose all your sense of humor.
Or it just might be that, you know, call me sexist here, but women don't like comments about their bodies and if it has anything gross coming out of it, or I don't know. I feel like I learned that lesson early on in life.
Otherwise known as goo.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's on them or coming out of them, you just don't talk about it.
All right, now 6707 says, I'm with you, Dan. No Amy leakage. Can I just say this was a very expensive chair? It's leather.
People in the YouTube chat are saying that you're cheap.
I'm cheap?
Well, before you've said it was an expensive leather chair.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was a very expensive chair. It might be pleather. I'm not sure. Whatever.
Okay, well, then it's not that expensive.
Philip says, I don't know. What is expensive for? Can I be honest? I don't even know what we paid for it.
So then you don't really care.
Yeah.
And guess what?
No,
You
I
get
do
another
care
one.
because listen, if anybody would like a chair in a few weeks, I've got one for free.
Oh, gosh.
Just come pick it up. Bring your leather cleaner.
Oh.
See, I can say this because I know that Amy is still conked out from the drugs that I gave her at like midnight. All right, moving right along. Let's see here. Kate, can we talk about as bad of a week as Amy is having? You want to talk about Katie Porter?
Oh, my goodness.
That woman is insane.
So there's a few things here. Now, did you post, Sam, because I had Sam make a couple of different versions of this. Did you post that second version?
Yeah, I did. Dan was right to point out in my first version, for you people listening in your cars, I should not use a car horn to substitute the F-bomb.
No, because
Probably wasn't a good idea.
No, because people don't. If people are driving, this is a honest to goodness true story. Is that I was driving one time. Do you know one of the biggest battles I had at this radio station when I first started as program director? I'm driving down the roads of Nashville, and I'm listening to WTN, and somebody decided that it would be a good idea to put a really
Lard.
a really loud car horn on a commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Who thought that was a good idea? But I fought this. I waged this battle for like 6 weeks, and I'm trying to explain to them. I've been in radio for decades, and I'm driving down the road, and I hear a commercial with a car horn, and all of a sudden, and you're panic steering. Sadly, I think I lost that battle, but so that's the whole point of not wanting a car horn. So, did you pull the first one down?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can play this. So this is Katie Porter. Now she is running to be California's governor. She is an outgoing congressperson, I guess. And there is a person who is on her staff in the middle of this interview that she's having. And Porter notices that this woman is behind her in the shot. And for you folks watching on WTN TV, you can see this. And Porter absolutely goes off. Listen.
Dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not.
So, yeah, you can get out of my, and she says effing shot. Now, a couple of things. As Katie Porter is yelling, get out of my effing shot. Number one is she was quite the bee. Like it is clear that Katie Porter, and there's another thing that I'm going to point out, and I'm going to play for you as well. But a couple of things. Number one is that this woman seems to be an absolute nightmare. Is that really how you speak to your staff? How you speak to your staff?
Looks like she's also making her wear a mask.
That's the other thing. Why is this woman wearing a mask? Yeah. Did you see that, Joan?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're watching the video, you can see
dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually.
So yeah, she's wearing a mask, and here's the other thing.
My goodness.
Do you know why the staffer was there in the first place? And she's wearing a mask, and it looks like they're in Katie Porter's house or somebody's home. But the staffer was correcting her on policy. This was a taped interview.
Oh, my goodness.
So this was a taped interview, and they were talking about something about vehicles. And so the staffer came out to let her know that you had said something wrong about whatever policy initiative she was talking about. And she says, well, you were still in my effing shot. You know what I mean?
I love how they beep out the staffer's name, which just allowed me to copy and paste that audio to beep out the F-bomb.
Right.
But they don't beep out the F-bomb. Like, which I appreciate, because on the raw audio, which we can't play over the radio wave,
right?
It is, I mean, it's so elitist to speak to people that way. It's so elitist to what looks like force them to wear a mask inside your home. And I know that that's her home because I've seen other videos of her from, I guess, the kitchen counter, it looks like, with her fridge from 2007.
Can I just ask this question? What kind of a absolute mentally ill nut job makes a person wear a mask inside their own home? That's number one.
Yes.
Number two is Porter is on TV and being taped in this interview. This woman is like in another room. She comes in from the other room or wherever it is, and she's wearing a mask. Now, maybe it's possible that this woman, this mysterious mask-wearing woman, wants to wear the mask. But then I guess I would have to ask the question, okay, well then, why is she wearing a mask? What is it about her that is, like, is she, because, you know, people who are perpetually wearing masks, they fall into a couple of different categories. I do know that there are people, and Joan, you know this too, and Sam, you certainly do as well, going to college, that there are people that are actually ill or sick, and they have to wear masks.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's maybe one of those types of people.
Or maybe the air quality's bad that day or something. You know, there are people that have sensitivities to that. Basketball coaches that way in high school.
Do you know what I'd be willing to bet? The air quality in Katie Porter's home is really bad because of all that hot air.
Mm.
You want to hear...
and all that poison that she spews from that rotten mouth
I was about
of
to
hers.
say, she seems like the kind of person that smells her own farts. Oh, I'm just so wonderful.
So this is...
That's a good one. Greatest ever. I heard you. Did you notice, Joan, that Sam slipped into his Trump impersonation when he talked about smelling farts?
Yeah.
Why would you do that, Sam? My farts don't smell. My farts are the greatest ever. You'll notice, by the way, if you're watching on Super Talk TV, I do the whole Trump hand accordion thing.
You have to do the accordion.
You have to do the hand accordion thing.
Oh, yeah.
It makes the most sense.
By the way, I don't believe that Trump smells his own farts.
No.
But if he did, he would say, they're the greatest ever. All right, go ahead, John.
Want to hear Katie Porter on The View? I don't know when this was, but I thought that this was
Yes.
so relevant.
Okay.
Here you go. Listen to this.
I saw this as a professor, certainly. Female professors, particularly women of color, get much worse teaching evaluations.
Yes.
And even when all the professional evaluations are the same. And so we see this again and again. Yeah. Lots of the so-called bad bosses are women and disproportionately people of color. I think it's really unfortunate because those are the very voices we need more of in our government.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of my staff. I'm proud of the relationship we've built.
She's proud of her staff and
proud of the relationships
and the bad
that
bosses.
she's built.
She's also apparently a victim blamer. Somebody in the YouTube chat said she poured hot mashed potatoes on her ex-husband.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So apparently, maybe the guy she has this kid with that she claimed her kid was crying when Trump won the presidency.
Yes.
No 12-year-old should be that concerned with who's president. But she apparently there was a lawsuit between them and everything. And her spokesperson said that Hoffman, ex-husband, the claims were a common defensive tactic designed to intimidate a victim. I'm sorry. Based on the few clips I've seen of this woman, I'd believe the guy over her in a heartbeat.
So there's also part of a lawsuit or something, her boyfriend or whoever this, I don't know if it's the same dude or a different dude, but apparently he was sending her like thousands of text messages.
Oh, yeah, Julian Willis, different guy.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Can I just say that she's not worth 1,000 text messages?
I was about to say the exact
That's
language
wrong.
in that suit is persistent abuse and harassment.
That he was harassing her.
Yeah, that's
because it sounds like she's probably one of the ones. Can I just say this? When you have relationships like that, I've noticed this over the years. Oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes it's a two-way street.
Yeah,
where it's just a sick, twisted relationship.
Toxic.
Toxic is what you would say, and it seems to me, based on Katie Porter's toxic reaction to her mask-wearing employee there, I'd be willing to bet that she matches that ex's toxicity to a T. And I'd be willing to bet that he's got some stories on her too. But did I miss the part about the throwing hot mashed potatoes on him?
Yeah, everybody's talking about that one.
You know what? I have not heard of the hot mashed potatoes being hurled at someone. So what happened?
So I'm looking it up right now. So it says there are allegations that California gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter once poured hot mashed potatoes on her ex-husband, and they've surfaced in October following a tense interview she had with CBS News. Now, according to a 2023 New York Post report, her ex-husband, his name is Matthew Hoffman, alleged in 2013 divorce filings that she had poured a bowl of steaming mashed potatoes on his head during a fight in 2006. Woo!
Damn you, my mashed potatoes aren't lumpy.
So, okay, but
there are allegations of verbal and physical abuse against her, not him. And he had a restraining order on her.
Can't imagine why.
Does anybody, I've been trying to find it, but does anybody remember the audio of her saying that her daughter is in therapy because she believes that the world is going to end, and she's like almost, she's like at suicidal point because she believes that the world is going to end?
No.
It's like, Katie Porter, what have you been telling this kid? She's 9. She doesn't need to hear all that. Yeah, she was 9 at the time.
9 years. See, okay, so...
Yeah.
Couple of things. Number one, there's the boyfriend that Porter was having problems with, now the ex-boyfriend. There's the ex-husband.
Yes.
Who also has the allegations with the mashed potato. So clearly, what's the common denominator in those two toxic relationships? Her. She is clearly a problem. And maybe she attracts toxic people. Or maybe she's just a toxic person. I think clearly she is a toxic person.
Yeah, she's got, and this is non-gender conforming analysis, crazy eyes.
You think Katie Porter has crazy eyes?
Absolutely. If I saw her walking down the street, I'm crossing the road. I am getting out of the way of those headlights because they are going to run me over.
You think those are crazy eyes, Joan? I think she's got like crazy person.
Yeah, I think
she's just a crazy person. She's got crazy mouth and the constant yelling, and get the blank out of my shot.
And she, first of all, she's a very poor presence.
She became incensed when they were asking her in that CBS interview about, well, how do you plan on turning some voters over? And because the reporter said Trump voters, you could just see a switch flipped in her brain. And she was ready to tell someone to get out of her effing shot again.
So do you have that audio, Dan, of her leaving the interview?
Yeah, you know what?
Okay.
I do. You want to hear it real quick?
Yeah, I know everybody's been playing it, but...
well, it's not that it's really long, but no, it's okay. It's all right. Forgive me for skipping through this little bit, but they're asking her the question about how is she going to attract the Trump voters who obviously voted for Donald Trump.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote.
Now, what's funny about this is that she says that really condescendingly, and then she looks off camera like she's looking at her people and laughing like, what a dumb question. Well, it's not a dumb question.
I think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. Mm-hmm. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody.
And by the way, all the other candidates apparently answered this question appropriately.
That this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And that's condescending.
Oh, yes.
I'll answer the question as you have it written.
I feel like she was looking at her staff to be like, get those.
Well, and here's the other part of that. These questions are probably pre-approved by her staff.
Yes, that's what I thought too, because this girl had questions in her hand and she said, if you keep asking me these, the follow-up questions, we're never going to get to the rest of the questions. And I'm thinking, why does she care about getting to the rest of the questions? Well, because she designed them.
And you're absolutely right, Joan. And we don't have time to play that. Maybe in the 6 o'clock hour, we'll play that part of the interview. She literally gets up and says, this interview's done.
Yeah.
I think I'm done. And her quote was, if you're going to ask 7 follow-ups on each question, we're not going to get through any of this.
Yep.
And then she walks off, I guess.
Probably to threaten her staff with hot potatoes.
Okay, so if we pick this up in the 6 o'clock again, I have audio of her on an interview right after Donald Trump won. Wait till you hear the unhinged things that she had to say.
Do you think when Katie Porter goes out on like a first date, because apparently now she's single, she serves mashed potatoes and tells that story?
Yeah, no.
About how she her first husband scalded him with hot mashed potatoes and said, "This is how you don't get scalded with hot mashed potatoes.
Don't you cross me."
It's exactly right.